Today I'm going to replace this headset. It's got a broken piece up here, and the part down here is broken. It's mostly just cosmetic issues, but since I'm going to be selling this bike, I want it to look a little nicer. So I have a brand new headset that I'm going to install on this. And in place of the expensive tools that are normally used for installing headsets, I'm going to be using homemade tools. Anyway, this will be an interesting project. First thing I want to do is go ahead and drop this wheel down. And let me see, release this up here. And since I'm going to be dropping the forks down here, I want to go ahead and have this cable so it'll allow me to drop the whole thing down. So I'm going to go ahead and just make things a little easier, I'm just going to go ahead and remove these brakes here. And I'm probably going to have to release that cable right there. That's fine. Maybe I'll go ahead and replace this whole brake cable. While I'm doing all this, I'll just cut this, slide this off, and I can slide this out of there. Next, I'll remove this little cap up here. This, see, that's all busted up. And loosen these little clamps over here. This little cap off. It's like plastic. I can move this off. And interesting, there's like a little split, like a little C-ring thing on here, C-clip things. I'm not quite sure, that I don't normally see this on headsets, but I'll go ahead and pull that off. Spacer. And then there's like a little compression ring thing down in here, so knock that down. Push this up. And I can pull this little wedged part here. And at this point, I should be able to drop this whole fork down. I pull this off, pull the bearings out of here, pull the bearings out of the bottom there. Now, using the first of my homemade headset tools, I'm going to remove these cups here. And to see a video on making this, go ahead and click the link on the screen here. But just slide this up through here to lock in there, and strike down on here, and this stuff is going to go flying down through there. That. I'll flip the frame over. We'll go ahead and get the other cup out here. Slide this up in here and engage. There's that. Okay, next thing I need to do is remove this crown race from the fork. So there's actually some expensive tools that allow you to do this. A little dust ring here that will go ahead and pull this off. And I actually have one of the expensive tools, but what I'm going to use is a screwdriver and a hammer. So what I'm going to do is just kind of catch the crown race down here below, and then just tap it off. Come down to this side, and the little brake part's in the way a little bit, but just tap it off. And I have it sitting on a piece of wood so I don't bang the floor. And the main thing I want to do is just take it off and rock it off. Not take it all off on one side at once. Just kind of rock it off and just try to take it off as evenly as possible. So it's slowly coming off here. And there, I got the crown race off. Okay, now I want to go ahead and install the new crown race. So I'm just going to go ahead and just clean up around down here. Slide the new crown race on there. And here's my next homemade headset tool. It's basically a piece of PVC pipe with a cap on it. And this is what I'm going to use to set the crown race. So I just slide this over here like this. I won't hold this up off the ground because I don't want to like bash the bottoms of the forks into the floor. And you can see more detail on this tool if you click the link here. Go to another video. But just tap this down. And there, that crown race is all set now and ready to go. Okay, I'm ready to install the cups. I'm going to install the lower cup first. But what I want to do is take a little bit of grease and smear it inside the head tube to help the cups slide in just a little bit more easily, because I have to press these in and they're going to be really tight. So grease here, and get the grease up and around in here. And then I have the cup here, so I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of grease around here. And then just rub this around like this. That'll help it slide on just a little bit more easily. Now to install the cup, I'm going to use my homemade press here. It's basically a piece of threaded rod and some washers and some nuts. And if you click the link on the screen here, it'll take you to the video showing where I made this and how to use it. And so I just pull these up. And I'm going to get this position down here. And I'm going to turn it so that the logo is just facing forward, just make it a little bit nicer. Slide this up here like this. Slide these washers down there like that. And then get this nut down here like this. Now these cups need to be pressed on. You want to try to get this started in as straight as possible. So you want to get this tool all centered on as well as you can. And you want this cup to go on as straight as possible. And so try to get it seated in there as straight as possible. Get the tool on there as straight as possible. I got the wrench here. So I'll hold this bottom nut with this, and then tighten this top nut, and that'll start pressing it in. And you want to take your time doing this. You want it to make sure it's going in straight and not crooked at all. And it looks like it's going in straight so far. Usually once you get it started, then you're okay. And that's looking good. Okay. So just tighten this down. And then tighten this down to where it's tight up in there and there's no gap between the cup and the head tube. And that looks like about it. That looks good. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove the tool. Okay, now I'm ready to install the top cup. Again, I want to run some grease around here to help it slide on as smoothly as possible. And then that's going to sit up in there. And there's no logos to have facing forward or anything there. Get the tool, run this up through here, get my washers on here. Try to get it in there as straight as possible to begin with. Get the tool centered in there as much as possible on both the top and the bottom. Let's go ahead and tighten this down. Okay. And it looks like it's slanted just a little bit there. So what I'm going to do is loosen this just a little bit. Move it over to the side that's a little higher here, and see if I can get that side pressed down so it's flat again. And that looks a little bit more level now. Then we'll go ahead and recenter the tool. And it looks like it's going on straight now. So just tighten that down. And then tighten it down so it's all no gap around between the head tube and the cup. And that looks pretty good. So then I'm going to go ahead, just double check, make sure it's not on there, and then remove the tool. Now just go ahead and clean up any grease that pressed out from around the cups as you were pressing them in. Okay, I'm ready to start putting this thing back together. I got the bike flipped upside down in the bike stand, and so I'm going to run some grease around the bottom cup. This. I've got the bearings here, so I'm just going to go ahead and just try to get some grease into the bearings. And then I'm going to set this in with the flat side facing out, and just kind of press that in, and the grease is going to hold that there for me. Okay, I got the bike flipped right side up now. Go ahead and squirt some grease around this race here. Try to get some grease into the bearings here. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and insert this in again with the flat side facing out from the cage. Okay, put this thing back together here. There's already a star nut in the fork tube here. Otherwise, the headset came with a brand new one, but I'm just going to go ahead and reuse the old one. There's really no reason to replace that if there's already one in there. I'm going to go ahead and I already kind of cleaned the fork tube off a little bit, but what I'm going to do is take some fresh grease and just rub it around the steerer tube, and this will help keep it from corroding. And also, this is probably chromoly steel is what I'm guessing, and if it gets in contact with, say, the stem, which is aluminum, you can get galvanic reaction and get corrosion on there. So you want a little bit, a very thin little coating of grease on there. Then there was a little seal that came with this, and so this goes on, which way does it go on? Probably like this. And it's going to go on around this race down around here. And then this will slide up here like this. And the bearings are already in there. And slide this up like that. And then there's, I cleaned all that off there. A little too much on that. There's a seal that goes up here, so that go there. Then there's a race that goes up here, and then that'll mesh with the bearings up there. And then there's a little split wedge part that goes up here like this, and that'll get pressed down. Slide the spacer that I took off before, and then bring the handlebars up there, the stem like this, like that. And I want to make sure that I have all the cables running on the correct side of the head tube there. And so now I got the little top cap, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on here and screw this in and bring my Allen wrench tool up here and tighten this little screw in. And now this will help adjust the tension of the bearings in here. Because what you want them to, you want it tight enough that you're not going to get play in the fork, but you don't want it so tight that it's going to bind up a little bit. So this is what adjusts that. And we can always adjust it a little bit later on. So I'm going to go ahead and get this roughly straight and then tighten down the stem onto the steerer tube. Now I need to reinstall the brakes. Reinstall the wheel. Now I just need to replace the brake cable here, and I'm done. And that is how to replace a headset with homemade tools. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting and I hope it helped. I have links to any of some of the other videos as far as where about the tools here. You can go ahead and click any of those and check those videos out. If you like the video, please click the like button. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please consider subscribing and you see new videos as they come out. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope that it helped.